into the new grazing, and look at the amount they're leaving on the surface. Okay, the big question is there, are they wasting a lot of grass? I think what's happening. Is this wasted? No. No, it's not. Because it feeds the microbes that drive the system. Do you do that at the beginning of the year and do it all the way through? No. I'm on holiday. What you do at the beginning of the season, when the plants are just starting to grow up like that, you would just move quickly and go through them quickly so you don't take too much, so they regrow quickly after that. But as the season progresses, when they grow up and you've got fast growth rate, now the plants are going to get away from you. So then you move from a high consumption to low trampling. You move to a lower consumption and more trampling. And putting that stuff on the ground does what? It feeds the earthworms, the bugs, and everything. So you've got good animal nutrition, you're feeding the plants on the ground, and that's why these people are building up their soils. And the economics will pan out. This is what understanding the ecology does and how you make it work for you by considering the critters underground. By doing that, this is on the North Dakota situation. They increased 8-fold the infiltration. And that means that you've got that amount of extra water in the ground, which does great things. He's got irrigation neighbors. He produces as much on his ground without irrigation that they do with irrigation because the soil is healthy. Yes, sir?
Yeah, that might be batteries.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, Jay Fuhrer is the guy working up with him in these areas, and this is what they found. Beneficial effects are above that line. So if you're using tillage agriculture, that's how productive, you've actually got a negative on how productive the soils are. The next one to the right, the green, the small green column, with direct seeding without plowing, you get a big improvement. Using no till with low crop diversity, you get a further increase. Using no till with high crop diversity, you get an increase over and above that. Why do you think that is? What we're finding is if you've got multiple species growing in there, you improve the biodiversity of the soil microbes and you get extra biological activity there that jumps up your productivity and the fertility of your land. If you use no-till with high crop diversity and cover crops, you jump it up again. And if you now start bringing a grazing animal there that you rotate through there for a period of time, the animals enhance the soil fertility a lot more. So by putting all those things together in a package, you really do get a huge increase compared to the way people normally do things. So to improve, you improve soil microbial population by having perennials rather than annuals, manage for the most productive plants, leave plant residue, use diverse species of mixes and cover crops, eliminate tillage, that really sets you back. Minimize bare ground, use organic amendments. Inorganic amendments, they wipe out your soil microbes, which are working for you for free. Because the plant will then just take up those things and won't feed the microbes to keep that system going. They get lazy because you're giving the plant stuff for free. Reduce end fertilizer use for the same reason, and grow the plants for the maximum number of days each year. This makes sure what fungi like, fungi have to have food all the time, have to have energy all the time. So the longer the period of green out there, the more you're feeding your fungi, the more the benefits you are getting from the fungi. So, importance for ecosystem function. This is what well-managed areas can do to regenerate. Build organic carbon and soil microbial function. Enhance water infiltration and retention. Build soil fertility. Control erosion more effectively. Enhance watershed hydrology. Improve economic returns while you're improving a resource base. A lot of people say, oh, we can't make this cash flow, but if you are managing so that you're improving your resources and improving your cash flow at the same time, everybody's winning. You also, correctly, if you incorporate the needs of your wildlife species into your overall planning, you can improve your wildlife at the same time. You achieve your goals by carefully considering how do you achieve each of those goals. Remember that. And can result in grazed soils being a stronger net greenhouse gas sink. Why do you think that's important? We get onto that next. You may have noticed there's a whole lot of people in the world who don't like cows. And they say, oh, yeah, cows produce emissions, which is creating climate change type problems. So we consider this in our research too. These are the emissions in North America from ruminants, mainly cattle, from soil erosion, from cropping plus erosion, and the total. This is the smallest, and yet people are saying, I'll get rid of the cows because they're causing this problem. But the mainstream cropping, mainly corn, is producing the normal way we go with fertilizers and stuff and pesticides on corn. It has got a high greenhouse gas signature. If you add to that the amount of soil erosion that takes place with the cropping, that produces a large emissions equivalent problem. That is considerably greater than the emission from the ruminants. Plus, the reason this is as high as it is because we feed them corn. When they are grazing, they're putting more carbon in the ground than the emissions are taking. So how much of a problem are ruminants? No, they're not, with correct management. You can, if you fed them all on corn, yeah, then they'd be part of the problem. So let's look at this. We've actually just had this published. We did a life cycle analysis. What a life cycle analysis is, all the inputs that go into a production system have got a carbon footprint. So when you put those together, and this is a cow-calf situation, and there's travel involved in that, when you're moving animals around. You've got protein supplements, it's basically cottonseed where we are. So you've got to add those to the equation. So what we looked at here is changing from the different management practices, the amount of carbon sequestered by making that change, the amount of cow emissions from that situation, and then the net emissions. So heavy continuous to multi-paddock, we increase the amount of carbon put in the ground by that amount. This is the amount that those cows are emitting. In the southern plains, we have lower quality feed than they do in the northern plains. And that means there are more emissions for a given cow size. If your grazing management improves the quality of vegetation, which well-managed rotations do, that actually decreases things. So we've taken that into account. This is low, heavy continuous to light continuous. This is low because this had less carbon in the ground. This was the net amount. So we're not even close to cattle being a problem in these systems. This is a grazed only on rangeland. If you change from light continuous to multi-paddock, there was less improvement in the amount of carbon we put in the ground, and the signature of having more cattle was reasonably high, but you're still well ahead of the curve. So it's a rational decision that is good for the climate change people to make these changes. And we can put this in front of the people who are anti-cow and just point this out to them. Now what we haven't looked at there is, let me just go back to this, it'll be just distracting. In native vegetation, there are a whole lot of things like termites and a lot of plants themselves who actually put out methane themselves. But the environment has adapted to that. There are a whole lot of bugs, bacteria, that actually eat that methane. And what we haven't included in here is the amount of methane that's out there as in the natural background that has actually been taken up by those methane-eating bacteria. Just to give you an example, work that's been done on termites. Termites eat woody material and stuff like that. So they produce a huge amount of emissions because of that very low quality food. But in the systems where they studied the termite mounds, you've got a concentration of methanotrophs, the methane chewing bacteria, in the proximity of those hives, termite hives, to the point where those bacteria eat all of the methane that's produced by those termites. So the background noise we haven't even brought into this picture, and we're currently doing research on that to say, okay, what's it up for our situation? But we're already ahead of the curve just by considering the amount of carbon that's put in the ground. So there are lots of arguments that show that cows are not nearly the problem people think they are, except we're in the feedlot. Feedlot's a different ballgame because you haven't got the natural background, and we don't think that we've got the right amount of bacteria to actually chew them up, but we're busy doing that research at the moment too. So, what have we learned from ranchers? I travel widely and work with consultants, and one of them, Dave Pratt, who's one of the best out there, he did a survey of these people he's been working with for 20 years about, okay, what works and what doesn't work. According to the farmers, it takes a minimum of 10 paddocks per herd just to stop overgrazing. Ranching with 8 or fewer, you're not rotationally grazing, you're rotationally overgrazing. You're staying in there long enough to chow down on the desirable plants for so long that you're setting them back. To support a decent animal performance, it takes 14 or 16 paddocks per herd. The most rapid change and improvement takes place with 30 paddocks or more. People who don't know this going to think, oh, God, that's just ridiculously high. But it's very, very easy to put into